Hello everyone, I hope you are all good. It is bank holiday here in the UK and it feels like a Sunday. For me, it feels like a Sunday. I don't know about you, I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm just going to get all my screens prepared. I don't know who will be joining because of said bank holiday. I will have a little look going through. Okay, so we had no questions. I think you're all busy today, which is fine. So what I'll do is I will just talk through some updates. Hey Karina, some updates from me, some updates from the group that you might have missed, and anything that you want to talk about, Karina. So let me scroll down. This morning, so every Monday morning now, you're going to have a weekly goal setting thread. I'm going to call it a thread in Facebook group terminology. A weekly goal setting thread that I post into the group on a Monday morning. Sorry, I have an ulcer here, it's really painful. So yeah, I posted one this morning and you can scroll up and see it, and basically what you'll do, or obviously what you want to do, if you don't want to do it's fine, it's all optional as you know, but your goals for the week, you can comment your goals for the week. So what your goals are this week that you want to achieve, and then your steps that you're going to take to achieve those goals underneath. So basically it's holding you accountable because you are 45% more likely to hit your goals if you write them down, which is why we are now doing this, because as I said to you guys, there is going to be more of a focus on goal setting. Because I think our goal setting sessions are so powerful that we do once a month, and I feel like we do them. I feel like we do our goal setting sessions on a month, and then I feel like we meet the following month to talk about our goal setting. And we've either all forgotten what our goals were, or we hadn't really tracked them as well. Some of us have been doing quite well at hitting them, but I want to do like a weekly thing now. I want to make this a weekly thing so that we can really focus on these goals, because as I said, the goal setting sessions that we do are so powerful, and I know so many of you have said that you absolutely love those sessions, and I think more focus needs to go on these goals. So that is why we are doing goal setting every single Monday. It's a post that I put up. Keep your eyes peeled. It will be like, I think probably going out about 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning every single Monday. Write your goals down if you want to do that. I encourage you to do that, obviously. So yeah, that's your goals for the week. Scroll in the Facebook group, you'll see the goals for the week this morning. In fact, I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin it to the top so you can find it. And obviously we're getting into a new rhythm now of the members club and all the new features that are coming in. So it might just take you a little while just to see them come in and actually engage and use them. But they are all there for you. And then we we have, obviously, I added in this morning our group session reminder. Now, this has been written in a slightly different format, so you might not have noticed it. Or it might be that you're just all busy today because of bank holiday in the UK. Those of you who are in the UK. But anyway, it's written in a different format, slightly different format. I think it's just a little bit easier to read, a little bit more uniform, a little bit more crisp. There's no shouty capital letters, no, nothing like that. Always evolving, and I'm always looking, assessing, and I have very high standards. Some call it perfectionism, I just call it high standard. And I thought, this needs to be changed, so I changed it. So that has changed. On a Thursday, so just on the goal setting lines, on a Monday you have the goal setting thread where you write down your goals and your action steps. On Thursday you have a check-in, okay, so a goals check-in just to give you a nudge. You set your goals on Monday. Are you actually working on them on by Thursday? Okay, just like a check-in. And then on Sunday, you have something called a reflection report. And I think I've told you about this, but I'm going to tell you again. It will be a post in the Facebook group with a link to an online form that talks about your goals and things like that. And you will, if you want, log on to that form. Well, not log on. You should click on that form, fill it out, and then it gets sent to me. And then on a Monday, I will look through them all because it's good for me to track where you're at. You know, we're quite a small community, so I can do that. I can track where you're at. I can actually get to know you guys a lot further by you filling out these reports and me being able to read them, so that when we come onto these sessions, I might have a bit more of an understanding as to where you're at in your journey and how things are actually going for you. And that's going to be a really private thing between me and you that you can do, because you'll fill in the reflection report. I'm not going to respond, but I'm going to be reading them, okay? I'm going to be very aware. I'm going to be able to follow on your progress every single week, and it's going to hold you more accountable, and it's just going to give you that extra level of support from like a more intimate level. No one else apart from me is going to have a look at your reflection report, okay? No one. So there's that. And also there's the welcome quiz, okay? This is brand new. It's so good. I think I'm an absolute genius, to be honest, for creating it. And I've pinned that to the top. Oh, Raphael said this is great. Need to have a proper explore. Okay, yeah. Well, that's perfect, Raphael. So just taking your comment there. If you went up to the welcome quiz post, which is, did I just say it's in the featured? Because it is. It's in the featured. And you just click on the link. Going to take you to an online quiz, and you'll basically be able to choose what objective you're working towards. Is it mindset? Is it sales? Is it working with brands? Is it social media? Is it anything and everything? Is it email marketing? Is it getting paid by brands? Like, there's every single, I believe there is every single option in there that you might be at. So you will complete the quiz. It's actually quite fun and enjoyable. It's really short, and it will then pop out like a personalized playlist of videos, trainings for you and where you're at. And I think there are like, well, I don't even know, can't really remember how many different alternative playlists there are. But basically, if you want to kickstart this, if you want to refresh your mind, like Raphael said, if you just feel like there are so many videos in the members club and maybe you didn't know where to start, this is going to be perfect. So go to the welcome quiz, fill out the welcome quiz, and then generate yourself your own playlist, and then you can get to work on a specific playlist for you. So it's going to make your journey so much better, and it's just a bit more like, we don't just throw you in and you just go off and do your own thing. Like, there's a structure now, which I think is good. Again, it's totally optional. It's totally optional, but I think it's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing. Okay, so I think that's it in, Karina, your questions, so I'm going to answer those. Tomorrow, the doors are opening to the members club. So just giving you guys a heads up. Can you hear that ice cream van? I'm sure that ice cream van comes around every time I'm on this live session. So tomorrow, I just totally lost my train of thought. Tomorrow the doors open. Tomorrow the doors open to the members club. They're going to be open for about 10 days. So we will get some new members in, which will be really nice. We'll get some new faces in. And, you know, it would be lovely if you guys want to have, you can invite. So what I'm about to say is there is a referral scheme for the members club. I do need to update the terms because there is a price change going on. So the referral fee that you could get before, you now don't get, but it's the same percentage. Like, you'll still get 50% of what someone pays to come in, but obviously it will be less because I'm changing the price slightly, and I'm going to contact some of you about that. But I'm not contacting you guys in a bad way. I'll be contacting some of you in a good way. But there is going to be a slight price change, which means your referral bonus will change. So you will get 50% off of what someone pays when they come in. So if someone pays £27 a month, you don't get 50% of that every month, but you get 50% of the £27 that they pay to join. Okay, does that make sense? So you get 50% commission basically. But there is a but. You've got to tell me. You've got to tell me. Please don't expect me to know, because I won't. Some of you have affiliate links. Technology doesn't always work. And we can't rely on that. So if you recommend someone to join and they join, don't just expect, and they tell me in a conversation or whatever, don't expect me to just transfer you some money. I won't. You have to tell me. You have to take a screenshot and actually show me that you have referred someone, okay? Whether that's a screenshot of a conversation. So if you are chatting with someone, recommending the members club in the DMs, and then they come and join, just send me a screenshot of that and say, I think this person's going to join, or I think my friend's going to join. Can you keep an eye out? If they join, I will arrange payment to you within 30 days. It probably won't take that long. But please tell me. Don't just expect me to know, because I won't. And there needs to be communication from both sides. But you are more than welcome to refer friends, and you are more than welcome to invite friends to join. And you can chat to me and contact me throughout this 10-day period of when the doors open, just to see, what the deal is, or just to keep in touch with me, or just to give me a heads up if you're, helping someone in or suggesting the members club to someone else or whatever. And if you feel like you know someone who is perfect for the members club, then just tell them. Tell them and suggest it. Because it is really, really, really important that you are suggesting it to people and helping people, but equally you're the right people for the members club. That's why you're here. You're here, you're watching this, you're interacting. So if you know someone who is going to be the same, that's so important, because we want the members club to be full of people who are like-minded and going to really bring something good to the community. So if you know people who are, perfect and just like you, get them in, because honestly, that's what we need. So the link doesn't always work because of Kartra and Safari, and this is what I discovered last time, is that if you use your affiliate link, and I think I've written this in the terms somewhere, if you use the affiliate link and someone checks out on Safari, aka an iPhone or a MacBook or whatever, it doesn't track it because of Apple's privacy. So then I still don't know, and it's not automatic, and it's a right pain in the bum. So I think, you know, you can feel free to use your affiliate links. To be honest, I'll need to update that before the doors open, which I will. But it's probably just better we just do it the old fashioned way. You just send me a little screenshot, send me a picture on Instagram, and then we'll just do it all manually, because otherwise, like, we can't rely on technology. It's just too much of a pain. Some of us here by accident. Yeah, I know two people who would so benefit. They are such social media phobes, so I have a bit of work to do. Okay, cool. Yeah, and we have had a couple of social media, like, people who are so beginners on social media in here, and it has overwhelmed them a little bit. I think with the new quiz, I think it will be better. But honestly, like, some of the really basic stuff, I would always just send people to YouTube, because you can learn anything on YouTube, can't you? And I guess if they are willing and ready to learn social media, and they would like the accountability, then this is going to be the best place for them. But yeah, I'll send out the details. Just keep your eye on your emails, and I'll send you all the details of the referral scheme and everything like that, so that you have it. Because, you know, I always am looking to try and find ways. I know the ice cream fan, it just like goes round and round and round. I'm always trying to look for ways to help you guys. Like, so what, like, thank you guys for being a member and also getting the right people in as well. So that's all exciting, and let's have a look at what Karina said. Can you hear that? Can you still hear it? It's going round and round. Okay, so yeah, so Raphael, where you've said, does the form when they join have a box to say how they heard? It should at the bottom say referrer Raphael. They don't type it, and that's where the problem has been happening, which is why we can't rely on the affiliate links, because yeah, it's just that iPhones just they were being really annoying. So I don't trust that, and I don't want to miss anyone. So just send me a screenshot, send me a DM, tell me their name, and I'll keep my eyes peeled so I know. And Karina said, the media kit, I'm unsure what to write in the portfolio and how to calculate rates. In Denmark we have to pay taxes, so do I calculate hourly and add the taxes? Okay, let me just reread this. Okay, so in the portfolio, like, you don't have to write much in that part. It could just be one line, and it can just say, like, you know, who you are, so what you do, and like, well, how would we describe you, Karina? How would you describe yourself? Like, equestrian with interest in dressage and making relatable, funny reels. You could say something like that. You don't have to write a big paragraph. And honestly, like, in the media kits, not many brands will sit and read word for word either. So even in, like, the media kit template that I've given you, I think from memory there's quite a big space for, like, a paragraph. Just because it's there, it doesn't mean you have to add it there. You can you can delete that, or you can just put one sentence, you can fill it with images, whatever you prefer. How do I calculate rates? Have to pay taxes. And being gifted, we have to pay taxes from gifted items as well. Okay, so this is the difficult thing with influencers and being an influencer, is that every brand is going to be different. There is no there's no like universal blanket for influencers and brands, meaning I feel like so many brands are going to have their own way of doing it. So what I can share with you is only what I believe is right, but I personally believe that the brand should cover all costs if they want to gift you an item to promote. Therefore, they should pay the taxes, they should pay the shipping, they should pay absolutely everything, and you pay zero. So you should not be having to pay anything. And that's where it can become slightly tricky, because obviously that means that the brand needs to be on board as well. And you need to be able to say X, Y, and Z, we've got these taxes and blah, 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 blah. Not possible. Okay, so I guess that's something that you will have to consider yourself. And right now, like, is it worthwhile for you? Is it worthwhile for you to pay these taxes? Because that is really, obviously that's quite a big decision, because obviously you're going to want to cover that. So at least if you're getting a gifted item, then should you maybe charge the brand minimum for what you are, which I think is what you've asked. Should you charge the brand minimum to at least cover that, so that you're not paying? Like, you still pay, but at least that's being covered. Does that make sense? Okay. Hey Pascal. Okay, they're mostly focused on gifting or discounts. They don't, so they're not paying right now. Do you not think most brands? I mean, most brands across the board still aren't paying. Yeah, open questions. Open question, ask whatever you want. Yeah, ask it, comment away. I'm just working through the comments. So yeah, I think most brands right now still aren't paying. We have to pay this fee calculated from the value of the gifted item. Yeah. Will you marry me? I wasn't expecting that question, but I have to admit, no one's ever asked me. No one's ever asked me, so I'm feeling a little bit stumped right now. Just kidding. Seriously, you wouldn't want to marry me. You would not want to marry me. Yeah, so Karina, I would definitely just, you don't have to jump. I know you're dead keen to jump in for gifting right now, but if you're not 100% comfortable in paying like the taxes that come with it, then maybe you need to just focus on your content and your followers and doing that, because I would only want you to start working with brands if you're happy to do that and you're happy to do all of the things that come with it, including if you have to pay taxes. If you have to buy something on a discount, buy something on a discount. If you're not happy with it right now, you just go back to enjoying your social media, enjoying posting, enjoying creating content, and seeing the journey and watching the journey until you get to the next level, whatever that is for you, and then you think, right, actually now I'm ready to step it up. I'm more than happy to like start consuming a bit more money and paying for the taxes so that I can start being seen as someone who's working with brands, that kind of thing. So that would be definitely personal to you, because it's going to be hard for me to tell you what's best, because I don't want to tell you to start consuming like money on like taxes, you know, consuming the cost of taxes just so that you can get gifted, etc. Yeah, that's a good idea as well. You could chat to an accountant, because obviously it's so hard to give advice on taxes when you're there and we're here and it's totally different. And all I would say is just don't get sucked into paying when you don't necessarily want to pay right now, because you can still do what you're doing and not get gifted and have great success. If anything, you know, once you start getting gifted, your engagement will go down. Once you start getting gifted, your engagement will go down. So we have something called ASA, I think it's ASA, ASA, Advertising Standards, the Advertising Standards Agency here, and that covers influencers. So you might have something similar, unless that's global. Maybe that's global. Let's just scroll back through. Gesundheit. Are you talking to me? Okay, good, right. Can you add a box in the sign up form? Do you know, I can't add. That would be such a good, I might just see if I can. I don't think I can, because everything is like automated, like drag and drop templates in what I use. I don't think I can add the extra like sections in, but I will just double check, because that could be easy. That could be a really simple, easy solution, right? I will check. So Raphael, the summer challenge went quite well. So much work. Oh my god, it's so much work, isn't it? It's crazy. And now I feel sad it's just dying off. But what do I do? Okay, so maybe would you consider not necessarily doing it in your Facebook group, but to reach more people, Raphael? Would you consider running like a weekly or every other week live session on Instagram, where you're kind of doing the same kind of things, like the same kind of topics? So maybe instead of every week, because that could get a bit much for you, but depends what you want to do, but every week or every other week or every month, you could have a specific topic on Instagram. You do a live and you kind of move your challenge over to Instagram, and it won't quite have the same intimate feel, but at least you will be spreading out more. And that might give you, it might fill that gap of like the buzz of like having that challenge and having that like thing to look after and do. And I think that could be good. But it's obviously it's up to you. And I would definitely like make a list of the people in your challenge who were really like engaged, and keep like nurturing them. Or what you could do, Raphael, is you've got your Facebook group, you've got people in there, you've got people in there who are interested in what you do, so you've got a good little community now. You could go on Facebook, and you could go on Instagram and do what I said, and do some monthly lives or some weekly lives or every other weekly lives on a specific topic, and like run little challenges on there. And then once you start seeing people who are more engaged on Instagram, interacting and engaging with them, you can send them a link and send them into your Facebook group. So it's like you have your You have your Instagram, which is like attracting more people in, getting awareness, getting interest. And then you have your free Facebook group, which was your challenge group, but you're going to keep it alive. Free Facebook group, which could become like a bit of a free resource area, a free community, and you just add to that, and that becomes then part of your sales funnel. Like, that is what most people, well, not most, that's what a lot of people have. It's like Instagram, get people into a free Facebook group because it's slightly more intimate. From the free Facebook group, you can get them onto your email list, nurture them there, and then eventually they'll become a buyer, hopefully. So you could do that. So the start of the funnel is your Instagram, and you tempt people in with your live sessions, similar to what you're doing, and then they go into your Facebook group. And as long as you have the energy to keep the Facebook group alive with resources or tips or more live sessions or whatever, you know, you create a little schedule that you know you can stick to in the Facebook group, then people can follow that step by step with you and come on a bit of a journey, and it just gets more people into your world as well. Because really what we want to do is get like people off Instagram. When it comes to like getting sales, like your most important thing is getting them off Instagram and somewhere else where they can become closer to you. Do you think people would like that, even though it's not current? Yeah, 100%. Because what you can do, it's like it's just like a resource bank. So you could, I'm sure you already have like your videos split out into like, you could create a guide in your Facebook group. I'm sure you probably already have, but it could be like the guide, which might be like the free summer challenge, and all of your videos are easily laid out in there. Like, here's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and anyone can go and work through those at any time. Yes, it doesn't have the same effect and impact because it's not live, but it's still a resource bank. So you can still go and interact. So I know people who, in fact, I did it for a long time, who run a free challenge, then they download the videos, package it up, and then they either sell it for like a small cost, or they upload it onto like a online course area, and they have it as a free lead magnet. And it's not necessarily like I said, it's not like super engaging, but it still gets people into your world, gets people a bit closer to you. Yeah, I read today the metrics we need to pay attention to: shares, saves, website links. Yeah, not even the likes and comments. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think if you can get people to just really move from Instagram, because you can lose people so quickly on Instagram. Like in a Facebook group, you can't lose people, but on Instagram you can. Like one day they're seeing your content, the next day they're not, and they never see it again. And it's just like, it's absolutely savage. So yeah, cool. Let me have a little read. Okay, Pascal. So I recently did a little survey as to what my followers would like to see when it comes to content. I also asked in which format, and the outcome was that people prefer educational, instructional carousel posts. With that being said, I have a big soft spot for trying to inspire people, and reels seem to get me the most reach. Question is, what do I do? Lose followers or give them what they want, even if it hasn't really been the best for my account? Okay, so yeah, you definitely won't lose followers. Karina is absolutely right. And honestly, I have surveyed my followers quite a lot and asked them what they want. And it's so difficult because they'll tell you what they want, but if they say, well, I prefer carousel posts, but most of the content in their feed is reels, because that's what the algorithm's showing, and then all of a sudden you change to try and keep them happy, but all they're seeing is real, they're not going to see your content anyway. So I honestly believe you've got to do what you want to do. And I think the energy that you put into something is the energy that comes out and the energy that someone receives. You know, like, let's say you cook a dinner and you're really angry and pissed off about cooking dinner. So you put in all this anger into the dinner. Like, the dinner is never going to come out like a beautiful dinner, is it? It's always going to come out like a bit of a shit show. Whereas if you're in the kitchen and you're making a dinner with love and you're putting all this love in and you're enjoying it and all that stuff, and like you're just putting positive energy into your dinner, you'll come out with a really amazing meal. So it's the same with content. Like, if you start reluctantly making content just because you think that's what people want to see, you don't enjoy it, you're gonna put in this energy of like, I don't really enjoy this, like, I don't particularly like it, it's a bit resistance. And then people will honestly feel that. Whereas if you're making content that you love, that will always have more of an impact. 100%. You won't lose followers. That explains my boyfriend's attempt to cook lasagna. Now I wonder what did it ever do to him. Exactly right. So you're cooking a dinner and it's not, you know, like you eat the dinner and someone's made it for you and you think, what happened? It's probably because they're pretty pissed off about making it. But it's the same with content. Honestly, it's the same with content. You can do a mix though. Honestly, all you've got to do is go and have a look at my carousel posts that I've been putting, and I actually I'm still cracking on with some carousel posts just because I've already created them. But like, my reach is abysmal on the carousel post. If I put the same thing in a reel, it would be completely different. And I think that, as we know, that's the way Instagram is going, is reels and content like that. And I know that you want to inspire people, and you inspiring people, getting the most reach, like, people connect far more to emotion than they do information. People love information, they really do, but emotion is far more engaging. And also, you could post so much information on your social media and no one ever buys from you. If you start doing emotion, it triggers people to take action, and that's why I'll do a little bit of both. I'll do some emotion and some information, because if I posted infographic after infographic, information all day, every day, people would just consume it. They'd never buy. Well, some might, but they probably wouldn't. You've got to hit people in the emotion to make them buy and take action and think about things and think about how they need to change and think about, are you the person that can change them or can help them? Like, that's really is going to help you. Information is great for positioning you as the expert. So if you can share some information, then you could do that on your stories if you wanted. You could make a couple of carousel posts and see. But honestly, I don't think you're going to cause any problems by ignoring what the survey has said and just do what you want to do, because you're always going to get the best results that way, I think. So Karina said, last week I had 2 followers asking me in the DMs for advice, and I'm considering if I should have a subscription community with the longer, more detailed videos for dressage tips. I have no idea how and where to start with such a thing. Okay, amazing. You absolutely could. And the thing is that you just need to have that as your goal. I don't think you necessarily right now need to put the wheels into motion, although I know what you're like. You're just like me. You've got shiny object syndrome, Karina, and when you've got an idea in your head, you want to go out and do it. And I'm the same. But what I'll say to you is that you can use what's it called? Raphael, you know how to say this, and I always call it like Patreon. Patreon. That's a subscription site. You can wait for Instagram to roll out the subscription site. That could be another year. We just don't know. There are subscription sites where people can come and pay for your content. And if that's what you're thinking, and you know, that could be a great way to monetize, because ultimately that's what we're trying to do for you, Karina, isn't it? Ultimately, we're trying to get you to make money from your social media as a creator. So if that could be a goal for you, if that could be an interest for you, then that's what we aim for. But for now, if people are asking for advice, keep doing your dressage tips. Obviously, you've got your content is serving two purposes, which is great. You've got your humor, which is bringing new people in, and then you've got your tips, which is positioning you as the expert. So you've got a great balance. So I think we need to keep doing it, and then see how you go, like with the tips. What I would do, I know I jump around, I'm sorry. What I would do is keep doing what you're doing with the two types of videos that you're doing, your tips and your funnies. When people ask you for tips, you give them all the advice, make it really personal, go above and beyond, really help them. You're building trust, you're positioning yourself as the expert. The next step, before we go to subscription, the next step is you get an email database. MailChimp or something really low cost or something free that you can use, that you don't have to rush and do it now, but that would be step 2. Then you can be like giving all this stuff on your social media. Then when someone says, oh, can I have a bit of advice on this? You say, absolutely, here's your advice, here's what I would do. Why don't you join my email community, because I actually give more free tips and free dressage content, really, really deep dressage content via email once a week. You could do an email newsletter for dressage tips, okay? Because then, just like I said to Raphael, you're getting people off Instagram and you're getting people into a closer community with you. Then you start nurturing them there. Then step 3, we look at some kind of subscription model and feature where you could give some free tips and free content and free support. And you can even do like a community, like you could create a community for dressage riders or people in Denmark, particularly who are looking to go into dressage or training a young horse in dressage. Like, this is such a big online space right now where people are starting to get really used to paying for things monthly and being part of these online communities, because, like, you know, not many of us are really go out and do loads of community-based things in real life. Like, our communities are online, so that could be a really interesting way for you to go. It could be a really interesting way for us all to go. Well, I mean, I have the members club, obviously, but for you all to go. Like, there's not one person here commenting in this that couldn't do that and couldn't have some kind of membership. Honestly, I'm here for it. So I think I like the way you're thinking, Karina. I like the way you're thinking. I like how you're going. I like what you're, you know, how your mind's working with this. You know, you're not just pinning all your hopes and dreams on like working with brands. Like, there's a further aim and a further goal and something that's more in your control, which can be amazing. So yeah, perfect. I like that. Okay, Pascal, second question. Since I'm trying to build a business, I'm unsure about what platform to use. Instagram is super unsteady with people unfollowing, but multi-managing several platforms has always been stressful, and I'm at a loss of ideas as to what I could offer as business. Maybe ebooks, online trainings, the coaching aspect isn't getting any traction, so I'm not sure how to go about actually start making the money. Okay, perfect, that's fine. Honestly, similar to what I've just said to Karina, I think when you're like just starting up as a business, especially like a business that's offering a service or coaching or training, it can be really easy to think that we jump in and can do it really quick. And honestly, like, I think there's pros and cons about being a product-based business and being a service-based business. I think they're equally as hard. I think when you're like a service and you're selling knowledge, I think you have to work harder to prove that you know your stuff. And you do know your stuff, Pascal, like you do. So that's not a problem. It's just getting that out and showing people who you are and what you do. And I think from your point of view, Pascal, and this is anyone really who is in like the spiritual community, who is in more of like a conscious community, who's in more of a mindset, and I say community, I don't mean that, like industry niche. So if you're in like mindset, if you're in spirituality, if you're doing anything holistic, if you're doing anything like, I know you've got like your body work, things like that, there's a massive audience on TikTok into that kind of stuff. Like, I am telling you, more so than Instagram. And TikTok is such a difficult thing because it can be so up, so down, but it's really good for new people. If you're a new account, it's far easier to grow. And the great thing is you can repurpose your reels and just repost them onto TikTok super easy. You can link your Instagram to TikTok, so you grow your TikTok faster, and people start coming over from TikTok onto your Instagram, so you grow your Instagram. Like, honestly, like, it's hard. My TikTok is slow as fuck because I did it 2 years ago and then abandoned it for a year, and now I'm reviving it, and it's just like, it's slow. But I know people who really, like, I know people who are ballooning on TikTok and they're new accounts. So I wouldn't necessarily want you, Pascal, to like go and start trying to grow on like YouTube. I think that's the hardest place. That's fine if you don't like it. What is it that you don't like about it? I would be curious to know. What is it that you don't like about it? You don't have to do it, but it is. Instagram is hard. YouTube is harder. Do you tap into your own Facebook audience, personal Facebook page? Because honestly, all of the coaches I know are savage on their personal Facebook page, and they get a lot of clients and customers who already do them. I don't, because I just don't. Because it's another platform to manage. But that's the great thing with TikTok, you do not have to manage it. You will post your reel, download your reel. You can even use a reel with the Reels watermark. Download your reel and post it to TikTok. You don't need to write long captions on TikTok. You just use hashtags, write a bit of a caption, like a sentence, and it's so quick. You don't have to engage on TikTok. You don't have to do anything like that. Honestly, it's hard. It's hard for me. The only thing with TikTok, I will add a caveat, you need to ideally, to have really good growth, 4 videos a day. 4 videos a day. But if you have them on your reels, you just download them and put them on. But you don't have to worry about layout. You don't have to worry about stuff like that. No, you don't have to do that. No, because the thing is like, if you're showing body work, if you're showing like your emotional stuff, that's gonna work on TikTok. Because yeah, there's a big audience on TikTok that do the trends. There's a big audience on TikTok that it's basically like soft porn. And then there's a massive holistic, spiritual, wellness, well-being community on TikTok that aren't dancing. I can't be bothered with TikTok. Okay. Honestly, that's fine. And it's gotta be what you guys want. It's gotta be what you guys want to do. So what would you prefer? Just yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie, it is. But there is a massive holistic community on there. But it's got to be what you want to do. It's got to be what you want to do. If you're happy with Instagram, you just nail Instagram. And I will always say to all of you, you've got to just nail the first platform first. You know? If you go on Instagram and you think, do you know what? I absolutely hate this and I would rather try TikTok, great, do that. If you have the time to do both, great, do that. If you only have time to do one, pick the one you want to do and do that. Okay, let me just reread your question to make sure I'm actually answering it. Okay, yeah, so the way, Pascal, it's definitely, like, what you decide to do in your business now won't be what you do in your business later on, really. It just probably won't be. I love the online stuff. I much prefer that. It suits me as a person, and I think the journey that you'll find going into this new business is what works best for you. Do you prefer doing one-to-one on Zoom with someone? Do you prefer creating and building an online course and building out a journey that people have got to work through in their own time? Would you prefer to do in person? So like there's all these different things. You might not know until you try it. For me, I much prefer creating products, like online things, like an online membership, an online course. I prefer doing that than doing like one-to-one sessions all the time. And that's just because of me, my human design, like all these different things about me that make me who I am. But then people who I'm friends with hate that and they love nothing more than coaching clients one-to-one for hours, and they couldn't think of anything worse than having a membership or creating a course. Like, so it just, we are all so different as people. And there's so many different ways of doing it. So many coaches will tell you so many different ways of doing it, and this is something I've massively found, and there's no right or wrong. I created a £10 ebook to start with. I did a few things the wrong way around, back to front, or whatever. But I did create a £10 ebook first, and I sold quite a good amount of those. But I had been posting for 6 months, and I didn't sell anything. So I'd been posting for 6 months. I opened a free Facebook group, which is now the Members Club, and people came in that for free, and I went live every Monday, and that, just like I do now. I don't think there's anyone in here now that was originally from the Facebook group, but it was a free group. And I put in resources, ebooks, all for free. They just had to, actually I don't even think people gave me their email address. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do because there's no right or wrong. You've honestly just got to find your own way, as annoying as that is. So I did that, got people in the Facebook group, just trained them for free every single Monday relentlessly, and did that for ages until I started monetizing that group. And that was just a choice I made. And lots of coaches would have told me don't do that, but I did do that. And then I sold my ebook, so I brought the ebook out, sold that. That did quite well. And then I made a course, my online course, which was Influencer Academy at the time, and that was £200, and I sold that, and that did amazingly well. But that, and I was very shocked because I really wasn't expecting it because it was so new. But I had been going 8 months in before that point, really. That is how I've been going. So then I created that course, and then I was like, oh, actually, I really like this course. I like this course malarkey. So I started thinking of another course that I could do. Made a second course, and in the meantime did one-to-one with people, and realised I preferred doing the courses than I did the one-to-ones. So in the end, eventually when I could, I phased out the one-to-ones, and now I've just phased out. I've got no more one-to-ones. So it's taken that long for me to phase out my one-to-ones to a point where, like, I could survive financially on just online stuff. And yeah, that's how I did it. But people would say that I did it the wrong way. Looking back, I could have done it differently. I could have done it better ways for sure. That's the way I did it, and it doesn't matter because that's the way I did it. But what I want you to do, Pascal, and anyone really, is don't just think about what's the quickest route, because that will always lead to failure and disappointment, because there is no quick route. Like, honestly, there's no quick route. Some people will say, do sell to one person first, so sell one-on-one first. It's easier to sell one thing to one person first than it is to sell one thing to many people, aka a course. It depends what your situation is, because to sell one course and make good money from it, you either need to have that course as a very expensive course, or you need to have that course as a mid-ranged, middle-of-the-road course, £200 to £500 course, and have a big audience. That's the catch, right? So you can sell one-to-one at a slightly higher price and coach someone for 3 months or 6 months and sell it for more money, and you have to sell less of them. So it's easier because you're selling less things, basically. Or you grow your audience, you step back, you don't put a time limit on things, and you step back and you grow your audience so that you can sell slightly cheaper things to more people. And I think that's what's intimidating you. Yeah, okay, that's fine, because it's going to be a learning curve. Do you have your job right now? Do you have a full-time job right now that you're in, Pascal, that's earning you steady income? Obviously, it's never going to be the income that you want, but if you have a full-time job right now, that is your investor. Now, I quit my job very drastically. I did not have a lot of savings. I didn't have a lot of savings when I quit my job, and I mapped out how long I had that I could survive until I needed to get some more money. So I had a limit, but unemployment money until May. Okay, so I'll be super honest with you, Pascal. It takes a lot of money. Not a lot of money, sorry. It takes a lot of trust for people to pay you for something. So you need to get super crystal clear on what it is you want to offer someone. Because you could make a course, right, and it sells for £200, but you would need a lot of people to trust you in order to sell one course, because just of conversion rates and things like that. So, like, the typical conversion rate is 10%. So, and don't let this put you off. Don't let this put you off, okay? You've got to keep in the game. You've got to stay in the game. It's a long game. It's a long game. So let's say a typical conversion rate is 10% and you have a £200 course, you would need to sell, technically, to sell one £200 course, you would need to have, oh my god, my maths, whatever 10% is of, like, I don't know, but 10%, I'm really trying to get better at maths, but you know what I'm trying to say. So let's say you had 20 people on your email list who were engaged and you tried to sell something to them, only 10% on average would buy that thing. Okay? Thank you. So that's why doing the online courses, doing online stuff is great, but you need more people in front of you, otherwise it doesn't generate you enough money. Or you would need a really, really high-priced course, but that it would have to be something that really is amazing and gets results. So you have two options. You sit tight and you give yourself 6 months. I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm just plucking a number here. You sit tight, you do what you can do financially now, and you take pressure off yourself to get any customers and clients in. You just really nail down on who you are, what you're doing, what you're selling. Okay, and you build trust with people and you don't sell to them. Okay, build trust for 6 months. Okay, so you give yourself that time. That's option one. Or option two is, and that's really more if you want to do lower tickets, online courses, things like that. Or option two is you do a one-to-one offer and you price it slightly higher, but you have to get crystal clear on what you're going to teach and you go all in now. Okay. So if TikTok works, that could grow. Yeah, it could. But all I'll say with TikTok is you have to commit 100%. You have to commit 100%. You can't just post one day, then the next week don't post, because the algorithm is really different to Instagram and it's really quite sensitive. I think Instagram, you can pick things up a bit more, whereas TikTok, it's like a big spike and it wants you to stay posting. If you're up and down, up and down, up and down, it just freezes. And the algorithm just kind of stops in a way. So if you do TikTok, you have to commit and you do TikTok every day. Otherwise, I would say don't do it yet. But you can post your reels on TikTok and that's why it's so easy and good. And you like the trust phase. Yeah, perfect. So if you can really just focus now, shitload of content. And the great thing is about TikTok, it can be so sloppy and like obviously we want high quality content, we want good quality content always, we want meaningful content always, but on TikTok you can just pump stuff out, like it is more of a numbers game. So yeah, shitload of content on TikTok, basically. Do the trust phase. So for you, step one, Pascal, really get clear on what you're going to teach someone, what is the journey someone's going to go on with you and what is the outcome they're going to get. Really nail in on what you're going to do. Okay, get super clear on your offer, whether it's a course or whatever it's going to be. The only thing I wouldn't say is do a membership. Yeah, I would say do not do a membership. Online course or one-to-one, something like that. Great for now. So that gets super crystal clear on what it is you're going to do and what it is you're going to teach and map it out, map out the curriculum, and then map out what someone's going to come out feeling like. So they go in, how are they feeling, then what they're going to learn, and then when they pop out at the end of whatever you're going to create, whether it's a coaching program or a course, how are they going to feel? Okay, so you plan that out. Then you create content that really reflects all of those areas, how they're feeling before. All of the content pillars that you're going to create content around can be things and feelings that people are going to feel. So emotional stuff about how people are feeling. It can be stuff that you're teaching inside the course or teaching inside the program. So that is all going to create your content. Really show up on social media. You can show up and go live every Monday, and also try and show up with like some kind of energy, whether that is like motivating, pumping energy, which it might not be you. If it's like a deeper connection, meaningful energy, like really show up with that, because honestly, like the energy that you show up with on social media has a massive part to play in who comes in to work with you. Okay, so step 1, step 2, start showing up, creating content around whatever it is you're doing. Okay, crystal clear. And you do that. Then I want you to step 3, get an email community or email database, or get a MailChimp. If you don't already have MailChimp, get a MailChimp, so that you can start collecting email addresses. Remember, you're taking people off Instagram and somewhere else closer to you, but you can't do that yet. Still can't do that yet. That's step 3. That's a little bit later down the line. Then step 4, you might release an ebook for £10 or something like that. You might not. You might just go all in and release a course. Step 4 is when you start offering paid things. Okay, so you're going through this process, and I think the minute you take some pressure off yourself that you need money, you need clients, you need money, you need clients, like things become a lot easier, because it really takes a long time to get someone to buy. It really, really does. And it's not just you. Like that is what no one tells you about business. Chipmunk. MailChimp. So MailChimp, let me type it. You don't have to use MailChimp, but it's basically an email. It's an email database provider, like someone who can, a provider where you can collect email addresses and send emails from. Karina said, want to work less and earn more. Yeah, that's the dream, isn't it? That's the absolute dream. Yeah, you can definitely grow and have people work for you. It takes a while to get there though. Yeah, then you would have to deal with it and pay them. Okay. So to get people from MailChimp onto MailChimp from Instagram, on MailChimp you can create like a little, just link it. You'll have you would have to get MailChimp and play around. I wouldn't do MailChimp yet, because I think you need to focus on one thing at a time, and the first thing is really getting crystal clear on what you're going to offer and to who. The second thing is the content and just pumping that out. And the third thing is going down like the email list MailChimp route. So you do not need to worry about that right now. But basically, you would just create like a little page on MailChimp, and there would be a form that people can fill in their details, and then you would get their email address, and then you can start emailing them. But you do not need to worry about that. So don't even think about that right now. And perfect, cool. So it is just a case of figuring it out as well. Because like I said, what you start with, you probably won't end with. How you intend to start something is never quite how it pans out when you start getting going with it, and that's fine. You're meant to evolve, you're meant to change, you're meant to develop. Oh, you're so welcome. It's been lovely chatting with you guys. I'm glad this was helpful. Thank you. We are we're all doing super well. We're all doing really well, and you're all just striving and trying your best and striving for more. Okay, you are, and you're doing amazingly well. This is, honestly, I can tell you, the toughest thing you will ever do is running a business, setting up a business, getting started, even when you start. And honestly, my coach said to me, or she said to us all, if you knew what it took to run a business, you wouldn't start a business. You just wouldn't do it if you knew what it really took. But the thing is, once you're in, and you just do it and deal with it. Probably, I wouldn't know, Pascal, but it's probably a bit like giving birth. Like, you just, if you knew what it was like, you'd probably think twice. But once you're doing it and you're all in and you're doing it and you just do it. But know that following people on Instagram who have businesses, you know, myself included, which is why I'm always trying to be super real with you guys, following lots of business owners on Instagram, they will sell you the dream and they will make out that it's so easy. And it's not. Like, it's really, really not. Getting started is the one thing nobody teaches, and it's the one thing no one tells you about, because it's the hardest thing. Getting started is the hardest thing, because you are all over the place. Okay, so do not think that you are doing it wrong. Do not think you are stupid. Do not think you don't know what you're doing. Do not think you're not capable. I am telling you that every person, especially like starting an online business, okay, like a coach or courses or membership or pay monthly or whatever it is, no one had their shit together when they started. No one. And they didn't know what they were doing. It was really hard to grow an audience. So hard to grow an audience. It's so hard to create content. It's so hard to create content that grows an audience, that makes people trust and want to buy from you. It's so hard. Okay, so, but you want it, and you don't let it stop you. So don't let that stop you. Just know that when you're doing it and it's feeling hard, it's meant to. Okay, so I don't want you feeling like you're clearly missing something or doing something completely wrong because this isn't how you thought it was, or how people, you know, make out that it is, because it's not. It's just, it is a case of figuring it out and being patient. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me. It was lovely. Lovely chat. I'm glad it's helpful, and I'll speak to you very soon. Have a lovely evening, guys.